welcome back CEO Squad. I was asked a really interesting question the other day from someone inside CEO Society, our private group of creators. And what the question was how do I transition my audience from live webcam to my fansite platforms? And this brings up a really interesting question, and I want to get into it in this video. The interesting question this brings up is an audience member on a live cam site the same thing as someone who would find themselves on a fan site? Do those people and is that market the same? And the answer is actually no. Someone who comes to a live cam site wants to see you live. They want to see and interact with you themselves. They want to say things to you and see your response or your reaction in real time. Whereas someone who's looking for content on a fan site and that kind of customer wants content. They don't care to see you live. They want things on demand. The in real time isn't as high as a priority to that kind of consumer. So while the audience doesn't always convert, there is a way and a path for transitioning your following and your audience from one platform to another, and we are going to get into it in 5 simple steps. The first step I want to get into is leave a breadcrumb trail. So you want to encourage your viewers to follow you from your cam platform, whatever it might be, directly to your fan site without necessarily mentioning it. A lot of cam sites won't allow you to promote your fan site. They won't allow you to promote other platforms. Some won't even allow you to promote your social media, which if you're on a cam site that doesn't allow you to promote your social media, maybe reconsider. It's a lot of time invested and time wasted not building something that's yours. So keep that in mind, just, food for thought. But what I mean by leave a breadcrumb trail, you're going to want to use phrases that spark curiosity. So this is kind of the first step. You're going to want to say things like, there's a lot I wish I could say here, but I can't. Those who know. You're creating that mystique, that mysteriousness. If you want more of me, you know where to look. That's going to hint and signal that there's some other place they can find more content of you. Something else you could say is, I have a little something for my VIPs, but we can't talk about it here. This is really useful because you're setting the thoughts and you're planting the seeds in motion that there is some other place. There's some other thing happening that these people with you on live cam aren't a part of. And that's going to pique their curiosity and intrigue them. Now, you can also hint at exclusive content. You can talk about the type of content that you post elsewhere without saying where. For example, you guys can always ask for behind the scenes moments, and I've started doing something special like that on my other platform. This kind of praising and this kind of creating FOMO in your audience is going to get them looking for other places to see you. It's going to get them Googling, get them searching. That is step 1, leave the breadcrumb trail. Next thing you want to do is leverage a social media bridge. And what I mean by this, and this is why it's so important to be on a cam site that allows you to promote your socials, is you want to promote your Twitter, your Instagram, your TikTok, all of these things on your campsite profile, because you're going to build your audience on your socials so that when you promote other things on social, they can find it. So you're going to want to regularly post about your fan site on social media, teasing exclusive content like, today the VIPs got a little something extra, maybe I'll show you a sneak peek later, or posting engaging polls and Q&As where fans can ask you stuff that is just likely to be about the content on your fan site. So asking you what kind of content do you create? Do you make boy girl content? Oh yeah, it's on my fan site. Engaging in these Q&As and posting these polls or these quizzes kind of things on your socials is going to help to convert your audience who came from cam, found your socials, to this next place, this next chapter for you being your fan site. You can also use a cryptic approach. So instead of saying things like subscribe to my fan site, you can say something like my best kept secret is in my bio. Consider things of that nature. Now, number 3 is create an incentive for moving. You want to incentivize your audience who's coming from cams to want to go to your fan site. This is really important because of the very first thing we talked about. Typically, those consumers don't consume content or consume you as a creator in the same way. One wants live, the other wants content. So you want to get them to cross their interests so that they're on both places or they're tuning into you in both places. So what I say when I'm talking about creating incentive, you can say things like, tonight on my VIP, there's going to be a special surprise. And what I encourage you to do, especially if you're coming from a cam site, trying to build a fan site, is to have exclusive streams on your fan site. Almost every fan site platform now has the ability to live stream. So you can live stream on OnlyFans, you can live stream on Fansite, you can live stream on LoyalFans, on Just for Fans, on all of these places. So if you can have an exclusive live stream on your fan site, that's going to really engage and call to the fans coming from cams who like a live kind of engagement with you. So consider incentivizing the live cam fans to tune into lives over on your fan site. You can also create incentives like personalized perks for moving. So offer a secret phrase that viewers can mention in their first message to you in DMs on your fan site. That's going to get them maybe a recording of their favorite live stream or an exclusive video or some kind of perk or incentive to get them to convert from cams to social to fan site. Now, the fourth step would be to use some kind of email or Discord server as a way to create an intermediary. So what I mean by this is if your cam site allows email collection, which most don't, you can build out a landing page or a funnel to capture email, which is really useful. How you market to that email list, it comes with its own challenges. So I'm going to focus on the Discord server for that because marketing adult sites and things like that on email comes with a lot of legal hoops to jump through. However, if you can use an intermediary like a Discord server, this can be really useful because a Discord server is similar to live cam and the fact that it has this community element or aspect. On live cams, one of the most amazing things that you're going to see happen is your community doesn't just interact with you, but they interact with each other. This is the difference between a community and an audience. If you're just popular on social media, you have an audience. If your audience interacts with each other in some way, you have a community. And for the record, communities are better than audiences. You can have a lot of followers, they're not going to do what you want, and they're not going to be reinforced to do any kind of behavior the way a community would. Community members reinforce behavior between each other, and it builds bonds, and they care about each other as a group. This is a much more powerful business to build as a creator. You want community, not just audience. Now, that being said, if you can build a Discord server, Discord is great for community. It's very similar to a cam chat room where fans can engage with each other. So if you can drive fans from a cam site to a Discord, they can continue their conversations amongst each other, they can conversate with you, and you can promote whatever you want in that Discord server, which is either socials, your fan site, whatever platforms you're on, etc. So that intermediary can be a very powerful way to move your community wherever you want them. Last but not least, and I've kind of hinted at this the entire way through, but be mysterious and exclusive. Fan sites should be exclusive. They are subscriptions for a private group that gets a certain level of access to you. The thing that is special about a fan site is on cams, you're live for a little bit, log off, and you're offline. If you don't have a Discord server, if you don't have anything like that, you are now inaccessible to your audience. Whereas on a fan site, you are always accessible to your audience. You are in the DMs, you are responding to comments, you are posting content. And if you're not, you probably should be. That's kind of what you're selling. You're not necessarily selling content, you're selling access. Now, I make this differentiation because fan audiences coming from a campsite are going to be new to that level of access, and that's another lever you can pull to incentivize them to come over. And when you're being, mysterious and elusive and exclusive, things you can say is like, I can't tell you where to go, but those who find it won't regret it. And then you can bring in other aspects like, remember the thing we talked about last night in DMs? Well, campsites, their DMs are very different than fansite DMs. Yeah, you may have talked to fansite member in DMs, but that was when you were on cam, when you had free time, which cams, you should usually be busy performing or entertaining, putting on a show. Versus fansite DMs, you have a lot of time to conversate and build relationships. You are spending one-on-one, undivided attention with your fans in DMs on fansite, and that is a very special thing. It's very exclusive. Another thing you can say is, I'll be spending more time with my real VIPs soon. I'll meet you over on my other platform when I log off here. This tells fans that when you log off here, access here stops, but access to you somewhere else begins. And adding that layer of mystery and go look for me or go Google me is really important. Now, aside from these 5 core tips that I went over on how to transition your audience from a cam platform to a fan site platform, I have 5 more pro tips that I will be putting out in a exclusive classroom video over on CEO Society. So CEO Society is the fastest growing creator-only group, and it is completely free to join. It's where we talk about all of our strategies, where we give tips and tricks, where we talk about third-party apps and tools and softwares we use. It's where you can get anything you want to know about GPT's AI. It's basically a free private community for adult creators only to build their businesses the quickest way possible. So if you're interested in joining that, click ceosociety.app down in the description, and you can get these 5 additional pro tips for how to move your audience and transition them from cams to fan site as well. So I hope you got a lot of value out of this video. I hope you feel confident in how you can transition your audience, or at least begin to. I really hope you'll join us over in CEO Society so you can get those 5 additional tips, because those are the pro tips. And beyond that, I guess I will just see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, CEO Squad.